Hello, everybody. Good evening and welcome to Mahogany True Talk. Um, it's a Tuesday. Hope you've had a good day out there. Um, so, um, we've got a great evening show lined up today. It's my Presido. We have my Presido on today. I have to behave myself because my Presido has joined me. So I cannot be naughty today. I have to say it as it is. She'll be joining us to Dutan West as I wait for her to come on board. Let me just quickly do all my greetings so we can get straight into the show. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. She's already joined us. I trust her to be on time. In fact, I'm sure I'm the one that's kept her waiting. My Presido, please do not be annoyed though. I know I'm the one that kept you waiting, but it's okay. But we shall be joining you live in a second. Just want to quickly do some introduction to everybody. Hope you can all hear me. You know what it's like doing this Instagram live? You don't know if you're talking to yourself because you don't actually know if anybody can hear you or they can't hear you. But anyway, that one aside, good evening everybody. My name is Shola Yabade, aka Mr. Mahogany, and welcome to Mahogany True Talk, which is a weekly interactive show brought to you by Mahogany Productions and Events. Mahogany Productions and Events is a explorational production company. We do all kinds of events. Anyway, this show focuses on everything that has to do with events, from production, event management, hosts, music, food, wellness. And we're bringing you the top guns. Like we're bringing you my Presido. I did greet you. We remain loyal. Wari, have you sent it to me? We remain loyal. We remain honorable to our president. We're going to be bringing her on. It's an interactive show, so guys, please send in your comments, send in your questions. If there's anything you want to know from Dutan, please make sure you throw in your answer or your questions. Anyway, I don't like to talk too much. You guys didn't come here to talk, so let me bring on my Presido. The Honorable, Her Ladyship. That's it. Her Ladyship. Honorable Presido, we greet you.
I'm saluting you too.
You said the bow. We remain
loyal.
We remain loyal. How are you, ma?
Where was with all the ma?
Presido, we are in Nigeria now. For those of you that are listening from outside the country, we have this thing about respect. So when we see people that are meant to be higher than us or that are older than us, we have to say, excuse me, ma, or sir. We have to greet them with respect. So I'm greeting her. This one in our work now. So as it's work, I'm greeting you as my president. Good evening, ma. How are you, ma? Will they hail you?
Now so.
Okay, let's get straight into it because we've got a lot to talk about, Dutan. But before we start, let me start off by introducing you. Like I always like to do, so that people that watch the video later, they know exactly who we're talking to. Dutan West is a woman that juggles many balls effectively and wears many hats without a qualm. That's a doubt. Many hats. So this woman, don't joke with her. As an event expert, she is known for professionalism and quest to give the absolute best and classy feel to every event that she works on. As the president of ILIA, the International Live Events Association, she's known for her amazing leadership skills, my Presido, because believe me, it's not easy to lead a group of equally amazing professionals that everybody thinks that they're the best at what they do, and that are experts and leaders in their own rights. As a wellness expert, she is one that understands what it means when people say health is wealth. Dutan West has not only thrived in all these fields, she has excelled as a master, PhD holder in all of them. She always manages to stay looking fresh. Look how she's not looking fresh all the time. Guys, if I would please put your comments on this group. If you can guess what her age is, you will never guess her age. Trust me. You will never guess looking at her. Trust me. So, hey, my president, we are talking to you in two different categories today. We're talking to you as in your category as a leading professional in the wellness and event industry. And I'm going to throw in a few questions, not too many, because I want to bring you back to do Ilya separately. You know, a little bit about what Ilya, well, as you people like to say, Ilya. Me, I say Ilya. I don't know if you can remember the, what was it? Something, Inner London Education Authority. Can you remember from back in those days? In London.
Yeah, you're old. I wasn't born then.
Wait. Let me not reveal your age for here. Be only your mouth there. Continue. Yeah, they wash me. It's okay. They wash me. So in our conversation, we're going to dwell on different aspects of your life. But I'll start with the obvious, okay? How did you get to put on all these different hats, from wellness to events, expert to Ilya? You see now, there are too many. If I can be reminding you of each one as we're going along. Don't worry, I can remind you each one because you can't remember.
So which one do we start with first?
Anyone you like. It's your choice, your call.
So I think which precedes which. So basically, I love doing events. I love creating things, and for me, events was just a passion. Just making sure people are happy, things are done well, everything is on point. So from when I was young, I've always done events, and I think I must say I think that came from my father, because growing up he was always entertaining. He thought he was a barman, so he was always mixing drinks. Remember those days of Campari and Chapman, and you know. And there was no Campari, it was something with pizzas, you know, just always mixing things, and we always had guests. And I guess the nature of his work as well, we always had to entertain anyways because of what he did at that point in time. So we always had guests, and my neighbors were always entertaining. So entertaining was like part of growing up for us, as it were. So I think that was when my interest in events started from, I must say. And then by the time I got to university, we were up north. We did different things to entertain ourselves. So we found that we're coming up with different things like Touch of Red party, and then we wanted the party to just be the talk of town. So we went all the way out. I'm just going to use that as an example. We make sure we got cars, and all the cars were the same color. All the cars were the same color. We told the ladies, okay, being your hostel at so and so time, this car will pick you up. You'll be assigned to this car. I know we just went, but then we didn't think it was events. We just thought it was us having fun. And then we had gone to decorate the place, and we told everyone it's a touch of red. So whatever, if you like, wear green, but there must be a touch of red, and that even reflected in the decor. So I remember we had gone to look for people who had black cars, and then we had to put a red ribbon. But then we didn't think it was events. We just thought it was just us university having fun. Themed party. We didn't even think it was a themed party. We didn't have all those ideas. We're just having fun. And then from Touch of Red, we did all the events, and they came out successfully well. I enjoyed dancing, so I was always partying and doing different things. Fast forward, continued doing it. In church, anytime we had events in church, I would always do events in church. And I was fascinated. I remember at one time the church moved to a particular premises. It was a warehouse. And behind us in that warehouse was Carphone Warehouse. And they did their events within that warehouse. And I remember the first year that we moved, and the first year they moved in because they moved in after us, and they were going to have an event. they had all these props and everything, even though we did prop events in themed events in church. But you can imagine like a multinational in the cow farm warehouse is huge. And they had all these props and everything. And I realized that my attention was divided. My church work, I'm just sneaking behind to just see them setting up. And there was just so much. I wasn't even interested in the party, but the setup, the way they did the things. So Christmas party came, went, and I was thinking, next year I can't wait for the Christmas party. So of course, the following year again, I mean, in church as well, we did themed events. The following year again, Carphone Wales was having another event. This time around, from Wales, the trucks were coming in just to preload and do pre-events things. I kept on following them. I made friends within Carphone Wales, so I could sneak in and see what they were doing. But all that time, I still didn't think I was interested in event because I was an engineer then. Then, just trying to see what next again. I got married. And my husband, I was staying like on the outskirts of London. And I was working on another end of London, Kent. And I'd wake up in the morning, early in the morning, go. And then because I was a hands-on engineer at that point in time, I'd left management engineering because I found it quite boring then. So I was doing more hands-on engineering, and I was site manager. So, and I was working with a production company, and it was so important that I made sure that they had everything going, because if along the line production dropped, which meant that whole batch of drugs will have to be disposed of, and that was a lot of money. You could imagine a whole factory, and we're doing things like drugs for HIV, and so many other things. So it was so important that I was on site all the time. I mean, ran a 24-hour shift site. And well, I worked during the day, and I had my team members work at night. During the day, because I think I've just found out as a stickler, I'd go in much earlier before they went, so I could see what had happened. I could get the reports and wonders. I was doing that. So by the time I'm going to work, my husband is still sleeping. By the time I'm coming back, or when I get back home, he's asleep. Because, M25 is unpredictable. So, and I remember one day came and said, I have a letter for one day. Stayed up. I came back home early, I think. And he goes, there's something for you to sign. And I was thinking, yeah, all right, what? Because that was when we were still changing names and doing whatnot. And I said, I've resigned for you. And I was like, dude, you must be a joker.
So what we're saying here is that your husband actually pushed you to getting into events because he forced you into it, yes?
Yes, he did.
Okay, and then how did you become ILEA president?
So when he resigned, when he wrote the resignation letter, he had found a school for me. So my cousin had gone to the school before me, and I was just questioning her. Because, I think she should go there. So he found the school and started speaking to the school, and there was a bit of toss. Why will I'm in London. What am I going to do in America? I can't go back to school. I'm old. Blah blah blah. But anyways, I went back to school.
Yeah, you built her age here. You sure you heard her say when she said she was old? Okay.
No. I'd finished school now. I'd done first degree, postgraduate. What else again? The next thing was to do PhD.
Just do calculation of first degree, postgraduate.
No,
masters,
I finished early. I'm young. I'm one of those geniuses.
Okay, it's okay. Don't worry. We have got you. It's on tape.
Whilst in school, they now introduced us to it was called International Special Event Society then, and they were introduced to the society then, and as a student, they had student membership you can join, and part of my curriculum for my course was to have practical internship. I was in the States, I didn't know anyone, so we posted on ISIS that we were students of GW, we wanted to do this, and we got quite a few bookings. So which made sure that I ramped up quickly on my practicum I had to do for my course. And then we joined as student member. Obviously, I couldn't stay in America forever. I went back to the UK. And I remember that I still had more things to do. And then I was looking for work, and that referred me to different agencies from ISIS. And I particularly remember this Jewish company I wanted to work for. Then they were working, they did a lot of production for BBC and whatnot. And the lady was like, oh, why should we employ you, blah, blah, blah. And you're coming for an interview. And going for the interview, she said to me, oh, I see you just finished. I said, yes. She said, what school did you go to? I told her, blah, blah, blah. So why should I employ you? And that mentioned that she said, oh, because I'm part of International Special Events Society. So immediately I mentioned that. She's like, oh, yeah. Oh, that's a good society. Oh, forward thinking, blah, blah, blah. And that's how I got the job. So from earlier on, I've been seeing the benefits.
So you now decided to bring it to Nigeria. Sorry, I'm going to cut you a little bit short because I want to get into the deepness of.
So Nigeria.
Were you the one that brought it to Nigeria?
Yeah.
Okay, so you brought it to Nigeria, you set it up, and you became our first president, and you are still our first president.
Because
you can't get the power. This one now like Trump, she no one go. So
you guys, Shola, you yourself, have you taken up any role? I'm so busy.
I tried to, and then they did not allow me. They said, oh,
yeah, right.
So what could I do? What could I do?
All right. So I was to Nigeria, and my cousin
I wanted to create a role for me. Deputy President Aliyah, I'll go down. So
Shola,
it's not a problem. Yes, ma'am.
You said it openly. We shall look for a role for you. We will create one for you. And we are going to be held accountable for it.
It's on tape. You have it as evidence. We post these videos afterwards, so you can come back and show me. And
everyone can hear. Oh, Shola is ready to take on a position, though. Cool. All of you, can you hear?
Tayo, I think Tayo is here, so they are here.
Tayo, can you hear? Our legal advisor, can you hear? Please put a thumbs up if you can
legal
hear.
Advisor. No, I was in a temporary state of insanity when I said that. If there's a legal advisor here, I was in a temporary state of insanity.
Tayo is here, so Tayo is taking everything down.
So, Dutan, what do we mean, or what do we understand by wellness? Because some people will hear that, and as far as they're concerned, it means, well, I am well, I don't have to go to the doctor, so therefore I am well. Is that what wellness is? Explain to us what wellness is really about.
So, wellness is different. It's by individual. So it's not just about being well physically. Are you emotionally well? Are you mentally well? Are you financially well? That is wellness, really. If you're well overall. And people will say, oh, I'm well, I'm okay, but do you sleep well? What's keeping you awake at night?
So if I'm financially well, but not work well, does that mean I have wellness in my life?
So wellness is big. Wellness is very broad, So wellness is very, very broad. So I'll put it down to only down to self-care. Yeah. So what does it mean to have self-care? You can be physically well, and which is what we all aim for, to be physically well, which is one of the major things. But are you emotionally well? Are you mentally well?
Okay.
Are you career-wise? Are you well as well, career-wise? What are the things that are bugging you? Is your mind in a state of peace? Do you understand what I'm saying? And so wellness is very broad. And it's balance, it's making sure you have a balance in all these areas. Spiritually, are you well?
Okay. I think what I'm trying to get at here is that the word wellness is like you said, it's quite broad. What would be my definition of me being well or having wellness in my life? Like I said, if I have financial wellness, but I don't
Doesn't
have wellness, does that mean I am well or I'm not well? Which one? How do we know when we have achieved that position of wellness?
so it's individual now. So what are you? What so for example, now I can sit down and say I am well because physically I am well. I have no disease, I have no sickness, I'm well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So on that note, I've ticked that bit. Spiritually, I'm connected to somebody much higher than me that makes me grounded. So I'm well spiritually. Yeah, I have a relationship with a higher being, whatever you choose to be, you know, Jesus, whatever it is that you believe in. So that means you're spiritually well. Emotionally, are you well? Things that, are you well? If you're married, is everything well with you and your husband or your wife or your spouse?
Mm-hmm.
Relation, your family, are things well with you and members of your family? With your friends, are things well with you and your friends? Is somebody renting space in your head that's not letting you sleep? Because there's one issue that you need to deal with, but you have not allowed it to go. So it's renting space.
Right. Okay.
So are you
Obama,
well?
so what you are saying is like the way Obama has rented space in Donald Trump's head. Does that mean Donald Trump is not well?
Ah. You can term that yourself.
Okay, so when we look at the event industry, it's very demanding, as we know. You work in it. So, I mean, this is why we wanted to bring you on, because you have the two hats of being a wellness expert and also working in the event industry. And there's a number of event industry people that are online now and that will watch it later. And you know, it's quite demanding, as you're aware. The schedule can be hectic, especially when you're doing events from back to back to back. And it's not easy to say, cut back on your work or your events. So, what are the things that an event professional should do while constantly working to ensure that they're at their best and they're maintaining a good level of wellness?
So, as event professionals, we look after orders. We are quick to make sure that is the event okay? Is my client happy? But then you can only give what you have. If you're not well, if you're not, there's no so I'm going to use self-care to make it easier. If you don't care for yourself, you can only give what you have. So if I'm drained, my quality of work will be drained. Do you understand what I'm saying? If I'm irritable, if something is bugging me, in as much as I think that I've masked it, I think that nobody can see it. People can see it. So you need to be grounded yourself. You need to be able to look after yourself. You take that 1 minute to say, do you take a breath? Are you breathing? You know, so those are things that as event professionals, we need to look after ourselves. We need to look after ourselves first before we can look after the others. The best selfishness is being selfish to ourselves.
So so what I'm trying to ask here, or as a follow-on from that, is that specifically talking or looking at people in the event industry, as an expert, if you are going from one event to another and you saw myself, or you saw Tayo, or you saw God knows who else that you might see around, yeah, you saw my Gege or somebody like that, as a wellness expert, would you be able to look at them? Are there signs that you can see on a person to say, this person, in terms of the event space or in terms of the work they're doing, they are not, and I'm going to keep using the word wellness here, even though that's not the correct way of saying it as I'm saying it now, but you can see that their wellness is not right. Are there signs? Are there things that family members can look out for? Are there things that you as an expert will see?
Yeah. So for example, as an expert, or even as I don't have to be an expert, are you irritable? How do people irritate you? Do you need a timeout?
Some people are naturally irritated. I just irritated
No,
by anything in life.
no, they're not. they're irritated because they're stressed and they haven't dealt with it. So their emotions is being channeled at you or somebody else. Because sometimes as well, I find that even in my own space, I know when I need to take a break, because every single thing is just irritating me. Every single thing you can think about. Oh, you did this. Oh, and when you look back, you're thinking, well, really, was that really an issue? It was an issue because I'm not well myself. I need a break. So I'm edgy, I'm touchy. You know, somebody may just say something to you that on a normal day you'll laugh about, but you take it out of context. You know, you're shouting because we are under pressure to deliver the event. And we have not rested enough. So your workers will say, you yourself, if you look inwards, you will know as well that, really, I was just a madman there. Was that necessary? And you think your clients can't see it, they can see it as well.
So are you saying that there's signs that we can look out for to show that there's an imminent breakdown of people's health? Because if you now say that I'm sure if you say to my staff now that, if you see him shout, you know, he's not well, they'll say, please, that means he has never been well.
So who is controlling you? You or the event? Are you the event manager or is the event managing you?
I don't know now. I'm going by your definition.
No, I'm asking you a question as well. So if for example, you know, as event professionals, we have rehearsed these things, we've done our play role and everything is working well. And then some silly Billy decides that, you know what, I'm just going to take that microphone from point A to point B, even though it's supposed to be at point A. It's some people that said, dude, put it back to point A. Do you understand what I'm saying? But because you're already irritable, you'll be shouting that, why did you move it to point B? Blah, 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 blah. So you're going off on the tangent that, you know, if you are thinking that,
people that are listening to this, Funke, you are here. Mahogany, you are, anyway, Mahogany doesn't really shout. Funke, you are here. I don't know how Tayo is. Please support me now. What
I'm not saying it's you.
What Dutan is saying here is that if you are seen shouting at an event, you are not well.
No, that's not what I said.
In the politest of ways, your wellness
that's
is
not
not
what
at the
I
right
said.
level. You are twisting it now. You said that a sign of a lack of wellness is when you are shouting at your staff because something is irritating you. So therefore, your level of wellness is not good.
No, what I'm saying is that sometimes these negative things are good because it jots us back to reality. Yeah. But what I'm saying, Shola, is that you know when you just blow things out of proportion. And I know as well, if I'm being honest to myself, when for example now somebody has put a tablecloth on because it wasn't ironed properly, and you could have just gone to iron it, but I start shouting. It's not the tablecloth.
But it might be that you are shouting because that particular person, you have told them 50 times previously, always iron tablecloths. And we are doing like how Dutan will say, please, can you iron the tablecloths? I'm trying to maintain my wellness, so I don't want to shout. Okay, I'm not shouting. Then they've done it 50 times, and you're telling me that I should just be saying, it's okay, please go and
No, but you can walk away from the situation. So you can walk away from the situation.
But you've got deadlines.
Yes, but you have deadlines. But Shola, the fact that you have deadlines even makes you more irritable, makes you really on the edge, right? And you see somebody being very silly doing something. It's something you can just say, okay, you know what? I'm done with you. Just ignore the person. Do what you have to do and move on. Yeah. But because you're already stressed, it may be something entirely different from the event. It may be something personal in your home. It may be a friend. It may be somebody just died and you haven't grieved properly. It's just that when you shout or when you're that irritable, is that you're letting out steam that you haven't dealt with. But it just happens that they are the ones that were taking the brunt at that point in time. It could be a road rage.
I see none of my fellow events people are coming to my support here. Let me start naming you. I know you people that shout. You are not
I shout
your own about why you shout. So be saying it now. According to Dutan, those of us that are shouting when we are working on events, we are shouting because we have underlying issues which we have not dealt with, and we are irritable. So therefore, we let out that irritability on other people. Is it true or is it not true? Let me not be calling out your names here. Come and put your comments so that Dutan, we can deal with her here now, or we will accept it. Because my staff are here now and they're looking at this thing saying, hey, every time we see our boss shout, that means he's not well, though.
No.
So we now know.
Or maybe you haven't slept enough.
Or maybe I haven't slept enough. It could be true, could be not true. So what other things, besides shouting, what other things are there that could show that there's the possibility that this person's wellness is not 100%?
You can make silly mistakes. You can make silly mistakes. You can drop things. You can drop things. You could just, so many things, or you could just start falling asleep. There's so many things that you have a constant headache. You are prone to accidents. And these are signs that you need to take a break.
Wiley asked a very good question. I actually like the question because I think it works for me because I suffer from this. And she says, what are the things we can do to maintain our energy level physically when doing events without taking sugar? Like me, I know me, and my team will tell you, when I'm feeling that energy level dropping, the first thing I tell them is go get me Sprite, go get me 7-Up or Fanta, and I will drink that thing like no man's business and to get that sugar rush. So from a wellness perspective, are there other things that we can do?
Take a break.
I'm in the middle of event. My people have not set up as they're supposed to set up. My client is coming in 2 hours' time. You're telling me to take a break? Hey, that break will be permanent.
No, so 5 minutes. So one of the things that we do wrong, and one of the narratives I want to change as well going forward, is that we need to have a timeout room whereby we can just sit down for 2 minutes. It's calm. We go in for 2 minutes, sit down and just breathe, or even just silently do breathing exercises. When you take sugar, you're worse off because it takes you high, and then you crash. Like the crash is worse than the high. You know what I'm saying? So you're better off doing breathing exercises. So breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. The 7-4-8 breathing. Breathe in for then hold for 8 and then breathe out again. When I say you breathe into your diaphragm breathing, real deep breathing and breathe out. That calms you down even when you're stressed as well. That calms you down completely. Or just go somewhere, 2 minutes, look at the trees, look at the leaves, just do something to calm down.
Okay, so in terms of calming yourself down, that might work, but we're talking now about energy levels. Your energy level has dropped either due to lack of sleep, you're tired, I don't know, maybe even stressed. I don't even know what terminology one may use, but you need energy. What do you do?
No, but even breathing, but taking sugar is not the right thing to do.
So what do we do in those situations then?
What do you do? Just don't you breathe. Do some breathing exercises.
Breathing. So you're saying that if I breathe in and out now deeply, I will get energy? Is that what you're saying?
You're calm, because what is happening is that it's not that what is happening, especially when we're in that situation, is that everything is wired. Everything is on high alert. Everything is wired. But you need to bring it down to a place where it's at an equilibrium. So you just breathe in and say, okay, let's reset. And it's just mind. There's some meditation you do with your eyes open. Just mindfulness, mindfulness with your eyes open and saying, okay, I know I have to do this. Just talking to yourself. I know I have to do this. I need to do this. The time you can do this, the time you own this. Calm down. Just tired. It's just you're giving yourself pet talks.
So my Gege is asking that, can we have a smoothie bar instead? Would that work?
You can have a smoothie bar, yeah. You can have water. Smoothie bar, water. You can have a room, a dedicated room that you can just go in, which is something we don't do here. We don't have a green room for ourselves. And you know, Shola, that when we walk in the other space, now in that other place, there's always a green room for event people.
Yes, definitely.
But we don't have that here. And in that green room, you know what the things that they put in there are fruit, water, and maybe sandwiches. And you can always go in there, take a 2-minute break, sit down, have a drink, have a fruit. Take your fruits, that will give you energy instead of sugar. Take your fruit and then calm down, breathe, calm down, and then go back out again. But we don't do that at all. And that's because I don't know why, but we don't do it here. We don't have a green room for ourselves. We look after the other people, but we don't look after ourselves.
Good. Well, it's something worth looking at for the green room. But if we look at what's going on at the moment, so we look at the pandemic that's going on, the industry is shut down. Everyone is trying to do, trying to do that. We're doing something great. We're trying to be strong about it. But one day is just blending into another. There's only so much work you can do on a website. There's only so many Zoom meetings you can attend. There's only so many ways you can think about reorganizing your business. What should event professionals be doing at this time to ensure they maintain a state of wellness, both physically and psychologically?
Okay, so let's just own it. Let's take a day as it comes. Yeah. As event people, there's nothing we can do. So I think most of the time that we're all wired thinking that, okay, when it opens, when the event industry opens, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go and slay. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do. Calm down, Farah Ballet. The event industry, whenever it opens, we have to take that first of all into consideration. Nobody knows how this pandemic is going to pan out. Yeah. Some of us are so wired that we are already even feeling. If we're to own it, a lot of us are depressed because we're thinking and rethinking and rethinking. But why worry? The Bible says, "Today's trouble is enough for today." Why are you thinking about tomorrow? Enjoy today. If we ask a few people within this industry that during these 4 months that we've been locked down, what have you done? What have you enjoyed yourself doing? What have you done? What is the one thing that you've done for yourself that will say, during this pandemic, I did this, I enjoyed myself? There's Netflix, watch film. Don't feel guilty about it. You are tired, you want to sleep. Once you sleep, all the diseases are going away because your body is repairing itself. All the inflammation is going because you are sleeping. And it's not just sleep, it's quality sleep, deep quality sleep, take a hobby up. Do gardening. Gardening is so therapeutic. So, draw. Even if you don't have to draw. Write something out. Just do something for yourself. Tomorrow, if they do open us up tomorrow, we don't even know what the outlines will be for opening up. So why are we second guessing them? And we can never own tomorrow, yesterday. And if today goes, it's gone. But what we can do is that we can build memories for these days. So I can say that today, my memory for today was I had this time with Shola. And I enjoyed my time with Shola. That is a memory that I would always go back to and enjoy. So let's build memories.
Some of the people are putting out some of the things that they've been doing. Guys, please drop some of the things you're doing. I know my Gege said she's been chilling and baking, even though she's never sent me any of her baking. It must be that bad that she can't send it to
my Gege. So I'm coming for my cake or whatever you're baking. We need.
Don't let her poison you. She has never given any of this baking to anybody. Just been giving it to herself.
I'm sure Yadi enjoys them.
Happier events says bonding with family. That's what they've been doing. And I think a lot of people have been trying to bond with family, catching up with those loved ones that you've not seen for a while and being with them and stuff like that. So, okay, just talk
I've
about
learned to cook banga.
Banga. Okay, you've learned to cook banga. Please, Presido, my bread. She's asking for her bread. Me,
Yeah,
I've
I've
not
been
received
baking
this
as
bread.
well. I've been baking
Okay.
bread.
She's making bread professionally. I don't mind how only is bread to make money. Not like my giga that is trying to make bread to poison everybody. That's two different things. Anyway. So
My own is to make sure you stay healthy.
Okay, I hear you. Yes, her bread is meant to be very, very healthy, guys. So if you haven't tried out, please try it out now. Get into it. So give me a summation of what you think of, if you were to advise us about wellness. Just give me your own open interpretation of what you would love to say to us about wellness.
So I'd say first and foremost, make sleep a priority. People will underestimate the power of sleep. We can talk about all this wellness and I'm eating superfood, I'm dieting, I'm walking, I'm doing everything. If you're not sleeping, learn to sleep. When I say sleep, I mean quality sleep, deep quality sleep. Make that a priority. Try to take a break. Take a break from TV. Take a break from audio. Go try and learn who you are. Know yourself again. Some of us are afraid to stay in a room on our own without music, without our phone. Oh, no, but let me see how many likes I have on my Instagram. Oh, nobody has sent me a WhatsApp message. Oh, what's happening? Let me go on to Bella Ninja. What's going on? All those things are distractions because we are afraid of who we are. Learn to know who are you. So if I say to you, so who are you? So try and take a me time. And when I say me time, people think, okay, let me go to the spa. Yes, it's one of them. But switch off all the noise. Rest from all the noise, from all the social media, from television, from phone call, even from your family members. Just take a me time, 20 minutes. Just go and stay in a nice, calm area and just breathe in. Just know who you are. Exercise. You cannot do, I've said sleep, but you need to exercise as well. 30 minutes a day. As long as you can walk. Even if you're not going to the gyms are short, but you can walk within your house. Some people say to me, there's nowhere for me to walk. You can walk around your house.
Yes, sir.
Walk around where your trainers, walk around the house, go up and down, go up and down. Make sure you get your heartbeat going. And learn to have fun. Learn to have fun. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy company. Learn to be calm. Laugh at yourself. Sometimes, have you noticed sometimes when you fall down, you are so conscious that, I hope they didn't see me. I hope they didn't. Learn to just sit down and just laugh at the fact that you were stupid enough to fall down. Or, pick up something. Pick up a hobby. What do you like doing? Pick up something new, something you have never done before. Challenge yourself mentally. Write a book. People have been saying, I want to write a book. Write a book. Play the saxophone. Don't just enjoy. If you're wanting to play the saxophone, it's nice and play the saxophone. The good thing is that YouTube is there to teach us. Nutrition. Eat. Be mindful about what you eat. I'm not going to say don't go on a diet, but what is on your plate. Portion control, discipline. Those are things. And then mental health. Now we're all locked down, logged in, whatever it is. You can write a book on your journey. You can start writing chronicles of COVID. Tell a story. Journal. And above all, be very grateful. The fact that we are alive, let's be grateful. Let's celebrate ourselves. Let's be grateful. And let's learn to breathe. Take up meditation. And if all this all said, and you're still feeling, oh, I'm not well, I'm not this, all these things are not helping me, seek help. Mental health doesn't mean that they're going to consign you to Arrow or a mental institution. Mental health like this be a little bit that you need a bit of somebody more professional to help you back on track. You know, focus on today and the future, not the past. Stop really reliving past things. Maybe I should have. You did not. Okay, so what do you want to do? You want to beat yourself. You can't take that time back, really. So focus on now.
Wow, guys, you heard it from Dutan. Very good advice. Please take it on board. The biggest problem I have with everything you said, everything else, I'm fine. Sleep does not exist in my life. It's a really bad issue. On average, this is my day. On average, I wake up about 9:30. I sleep at about 3-4 a.m. on average. Every single day. Work, if I'm working, it's even worse. But if, like now, as I've been on this lockdown, that has been my day. Sometimes my wife will go to bed, wake up, and I'm still awake.
So what
I
are you doing
slept
that week?
8 hours.
What are you doing that week?
I don't know. I'll be doing all kinds of silly things. I'll be watching CNN. I'll be reorganizing my laptop and my files and deleting stuff. And unfortunately, I'm one of these kind of people. It's a really bad habit that if I start a task, until I finish it, I can't stop. I'm not the kind of person I was, okay, I've done 2 hours of it today. I'll do 2 hours of it tomorrow. I'll do 2 hours of it the following day. Until I finish that thing, I'll not sleep. And it happens to me a lot.
So your problem is discipline.
Discipline, but the few times, okay, let me add this, Dr. Dutan, so that you can help me. You can help me in addition, eh? The few times, because I've watched the CNN program about sleep deprivation, I know all the things about how it heals you, how it helps with your mental facilities. So I understand, and I know that it's in my benefit to sleep. So those few times, I said, okay, sure, you are going to bed early. I'll go to bed like 11 o'clock. I'll sleep, toss, turn, everything, sleep not the entire.
Okay, so
by 2 o'clock now, I'll just get out of bed and say, forget it, man. I can't do this anymore. I've been lying down for 3 hours and I've not slept. And I'll get out.
Okay, so sleep is a different topic entirely, yeah? But I'm just going to touch on it. With sleep, you actually have to set a time. It's like, have a timetable. And then the sleep hygiene. So for example, now if I want to go to bed at 10, ideally, yeah, I should stop watching TV by 7:38.
What?
Hold on a second. I should have finished my food. At that time, I should, because one of the things that don't make you sleep, yeah, it's computer, the blue lights, the lights from TV. People will say, I put on television so I can sleep. It's a lie. You're not sleeping, because even what is going on TV subconsciously is entering your mind and it's keeping you awake. So you actually have to make a conscious effort to sleep. You have to learn to sleep. So if you look at the village people, by a certain time, there's no electricity, there's nothing. By a certain time, they've gone to bed. By 9, 10, 11, 11 is even too long. They've gone to bed. But before then, they would have done so many things. So you start sleeping from the moment you wake up. The moment I get out of bed, I start sleeping. I start my sleep rhythm again. So there's a rhythm for sleeping. So if I wake up at 5 or 6 o'clock, do my morning prayers, whatnot, I have started my day. So if by 7 a.m. or 7 a.m. I go out for my morning walk, or by 6:30, 7 a.m. I go for my morning walk, I've gotten vitamin D into the back of my eyes, has kept me awake, that's woken me up mentally. Yeah, that sets my day. So I have my vitamin D already. I go to work for whatever I'm doing. How many cups of coffee, or what caffeine do you take? Let's put coffee aside, anything with caffeine. It takes 10 hours to leave your body.
I don't drink them at all, ever.
Okay. For those that drink, so by 2 p.m. you should stop drinking coffee and all these caffeinated drinks, because it takes about 10 hours to leave your body, scientifically. When do you eat? what do you do? You need to say to yourself, and then when God created night and day, he was mindful of what he was doing. He was mindful of what he was doing, that saying, at a certain time, you rest. So all these things you're doing, all this staying awake, you have to learn to, you have to teach your body. It will take time because you didn't get that today, but it will take time. You need at least 7, for your age. Uncle Shola, maybe you need 9 hours
Yes.
sleep.
9.
For your age.
Never gonna happen.
Because
I
you
have
are
a
past the one
Fitbit.
of 7 hours.
I have a
But-
Fitbit, and on average, it monitors my sleep. It said on average, I've been able to do 2.5 hours sleep a day.
You see, that is so bad because 2.5 hours sleep a day, you're actually doing more harm to yourself. You're injuring yourself. Because so as I'm going on, so by 11 p.m., 1 a.m., your body starts repairing itself. Your body kicks in. The mechanics of your body kicks in, and then your liver starts detoxification, your kidney and things all the toxins are going out. And do you know what I'm saying? And you must have a cycle of sleep. There's a time that you have light sleep and you go into deep sleep, and then from that deep sleep again, you're now going to the REM sleep, then you go back into deep. So there's a cycle you must do before you wake up. Yeah? Exercising helps you as well to sleep.
I exercise in the evening now. Seriously,
So when you exercise, what time do you exercise and what type of exercise do you do?
I do brisk walking. Very brisk walking that I do.
What time?
Dutan, the thing about my sleeping issue, I'm going to be honest with you, it's been like this since at least the age of 15. It's not a new thing. It's been like this because I've always gone from one job to another. I used to work, I used to DJ. So I've always done that one to another. So it's become me. Does that make sense?
No, you decided to own. No, you decided to own it. So Shola, I was like that. So in my engineering days, yeah, I remember I would leave work. I thought I was Superwoman. I would leave work in Kent, go to North London, go and do my church activities, church work or whatever. Yeah, go back home. Sometimes I might not even go back home. I might decide that, oh, we have a vigil, do a vigil overnight, go home, shower and go. And so as long as I have 2-3 hours sleep, I'm good. Yeah. The day my body, and that's one thing you don't want to get into. The day my body decided that, you know what, you are on your own. I am not going any further. It took me 1.5 years to even get back to work because my body crashed on me. And I mean literally crashed. I had pneumonia. I'm just I had a quarter of my lungs working.
Wow.
My right lungs gave up. My left lung, half of it was gone. So I had just a quarter. It was just by God's grace. And I remember, which is how I got into this health thing. And I remember that was just the beginning of the illness. So after that, we're getting over pneumonia, another thing came up. After that, another thing came up. And it got to a state that I couldn't even walk. I had to use body brace to walk. And then when the consultant was talking to me, and I was thinking that, oh, he said to me, yeah, you thought you were Superwoman, right? What was my diet? I was eating rubbish. And that was how I got into it. And my guy says to me, you are what you eat. You need to sleep. I'm like, no, I can't sleep. I have to do this. My head. They didn't tell me 1.5 years. I didn't walk. I didn't do anything. And it took me that long to get my strength back. So after a while, your body is going to give up. And you don't want to get to that stage at all. So it's best you start learning to sleep like now. COVID is a good time for you to sleep. And when you can't sleep, you can take this offline. I can give you a free session on sleeping and guide you on how to sleep. When you're not
So can I ask a quick question here? Because I want to run up soon. If I sleep like in the night for my 2-3 hours, but I then sleep in the afternoon, does that have effect or no effect?
No. So because you're not sleeping at the right time, I won't even encourage you having naps during the day. If anything, maybe like 10 minutes, 15 minutes power nap. and that's it, because it will affect your sleeping cycle. We need to get your cycle back to the normal, natural way.
Okay. Well, Dr. West, we have taken
I'm
this
not
on
a
board.
doctor.
Dr. West, Presido, event organizer. This has been, honestly, I mean, I don't know about the guys that are listening, everybody listening here, but just for me alone, I've learned a lot. Even though I've kind of known some of the things, you kind of reinforced it. You drummed it into my head again and to others. So people, wellness is very important to each of you. So if you are shouting, I'll be coming to talk to you, to warn you that you need to calm down, take it easy, because you are not in a good state of wellness at the moment. And if any of my staff try it with me, I will beat you.
Mahogany, we have permission.
I will beat you. That has been a fantastic session. I'm coming back to you again. We're going to rebook you. But when we rebook you, we're talking about ILEA. We need to talk about ILEA. Do you understand? But that's totally a conversation itself. I didn't want to dilute the two things because I really feel that the information you've impacted onto us as event professionals about wellness and stuff like that is very, very important to us. We need to know what's going on. We need to understand our bodies. We need to understand psychologically what things are going on around us. So we really appreciate you. We love you. Guys, just in case you don't know, Dutan also does a yearly wellness event. Please talk. You got 1 minute to talk about that wellness event, please.
So it's called Refresh Day, and the whole idea is to help. It's our give back to the society. We get we get various professionals from different fields, not just the health field, financial people, business analysts, and just people that we know that own the space. We bring them in, and then you can have your medical checks as well. They tell you about different things, about how to save, financial wellness and whatnot. All wellness we spoke about earlier on. It's free, and then we get medical people as well to give you medical checks, and we partner with different people. So obviously this year we couldn't do it because of COVID. We were supposed to have been in April, right?
Yeah.
April, but there was the middle of COVID. So we tend to be able to do it again. We're praying we'll be able to do it next year and have all these people come in as well. It's a free event. So when we advertise, it's free to bring people that I think might need it. We have doctors on call willing to do anything for free on that day.
Well, guys, it's the biggest, I want to say it's the only, but I won't say that, but it's the biggest wellness event in Nigeria. It's definitely something not to be missed. I know all of us, we all attend, we help out, we do our little bit, and we learn a lot.
Yeah, my Aliyah family, you support us fully. They do it for free.
Yes, so that's what ILEA is about. That's why we're bringing you back. People need to know about ILEA. They know about the other organizations.
We have Marius. Let me give my shout outs, please. To Kumi and his team, Shola and his team, Tubosu and his team. Who have I missed out?
I don't know, but I've got like 30 seconds remaining. So
we are here, and all the doctors and all the wonderful people that come and they all do it for free. We don't pay them anything. We have a psychiatrist that comes in from the States. She pays her way in, all for free.
Dutan, thank you, darling. You have been great. Have a lovely evening. I'm going to try and get some sleep eventually. Anyway, thank you. We love having you on board. Okay, everybody. Good night.
Good night. Love you guys.
Wasn't that a great session with Dutan, guys? I think that was absolutely fantastic, talking about wellness and the event industry. I hope you've enjoyed yourself. We will be back again next week with another great guest, helping the industry to acquire knowledge, to know how to move on, to learn from those that have been doing great, to understand how they run their businesses. We'll be back again next week. We're here with Fashions Finance Africa on Thursday at 8 o'clock. Please join us then. Don't miss out. Remember, stay safe. COVID is real. Social distancing, wear your mask, and we'll see you soon. Take care, everybody, and good night.